Now, it's biblical to have people in your life that keep you up. Back and forth. Okay, back and forth. Good job, Edmund. Good job. My wife is calling me. I'm over here, and I let it hit the ground. This is what we call sometimes church hurt. That I was in a church full of people that were supposed to keep me up. And then they took their eyes off the ball, or they hit it a little too far, and I hit the ground. And I thought that the church would be a safe place for me. But we end up leaving because what we end up doing is we ask people to fill a role that God intended to fill himself. Kind of toss it at my feet right here, the metal weight, just right on the ground. Toss it. Okay, it hit the ground, but it popped back up. Because it says that when God created Adam and Eve, formed him from the dust of the ground, he breathed life into him. There's one relationship that could fill us and will sustain us, and it's the relationship with God. When he tossed it and it's back and forth, we do that in church. We are meant to encourage one another, build each other up, and sometimes life feels like we've been hit back and forth, and maybe at times we hit the ground. But the one relationship, we need people that fill us up, that pour into us. We need counselors. We need coaches. We need people in our life to encourage us. But we cannot ask people to fill a role that God intended to fill himself. He says, I am your source. I am your provider. I am the one. Look to me. Seek the kingdom of God. Live righteously. I will give you everything you need. The church, people, they make terrible gods. You guys ever find that out? Your spouse is not your God. Your kids are not your God. Love them. Encourage them. Don't look to them to fill something that they were never intended to fill. Your wife was not meant to fill all of your needs. I know we see these movies and we stuff. You complete me. That's messed up. I'm asking of my wife too much to have her to be my source of everything that's going to keep me up in life. You cannot be asking me. I'm a pastor. I'm in a church. Pastor, how dare you forgot my birthday. You didn't call when I was in the hospital. You didn't do that. I know I love you. We love you. The church loves you. But guess what? It's full of people. And people make terrible gods. We're meant to encourage one another and help pass along, but don't look to your neighbor to keep you up the whole time. It's by God. Genesis 2, verse 7. The Lord formed the man from the dust of the ground. He breathed the breath of life into the man's nostrils, and the man became a living person. It's by God that breathed into him. And some of us here today, we need a new, fresh breath of God into our lives. We need a fresh breath of God into our marriage. We need fresh breath breathed into our business. We've been looking to all these other things to fill these holes. And God is saying, I know you've been drained. I know you've been co-working. I know you've been laboring. I know that you've been doing all this. You've been enjoying life, but there's the one thing that you've been lacking, you've been needing in life. And that's why you went from church to church to church. And God is saying, enough. Have me fill you up and see what I could do in your life. If I could just be, if I could be planted in your heart, if you could be rooted in a place filled by God, and even if you were tossed in this church, it happens at Pivot. Even if you got tossed and it feels like you're alone, you could say, you know what? I am confident in the Lord that no matter what happens in my life, it's God that's going to keep me up. That is what I believe is for you, your marriage, your kids, and your life. You were created for this. You were made for this, for relationship within the church, with one another, and with God.